Hey guys, it's Andrew here from Better Medias with another great insight video. Can you still get a job during this pandemic? We have recently conducted a poll addressing the major concerns that job seekers face in this current market. Some of the major concerns addressed were, are employers and recruiters still hiring or seeking talent? With Australian unemployment soaring through the roof, hitting double digit, leaving 1.4 million people out of work. This leaves an unprecedented amount of people and competition in the market. How do you position yourself well in this tough situation? And do you suggest whether job seekers should realign their career focus in an industry that is hiring? Today, I'm honoured to introduce you to Belinda Agnew, who is the founder and managing director at Foccus Group, which is a leading boutique recruitment agency based in Melbourne, Australia, specialised in sales, technology and the digital space. Some of the major clients that she works with that you may know are Telstra, Mindvalley and Quandu. So tune in as we listen to Belinda's innovative and highly strategical methods on how you can land on further job opportunities. Without further ado, let's dive straight in. And before we get into that, if you don't mind, I'd like to understand a bit about your company, what you do, and just the candidates or the industry that you serve.
Yeah. So just kind of a little bit of a background. So we run a recruitment agency in executive search. So it's essentially for tech digital talent. We run anything from a junior role right up to an exec as a CFO or CEO. A lot of the roles that are currently active right now are more development software engineers, because obviously that's a contracted based on projects. A lot of the sales positions, I would say, and marketing positions, admin roles are completely wiped out and put on hold, to be fair, in the agency. In all agency world right now, it's what we're dealing with. So that's the agency that I do. We're about to go in soft launch with an application in about 3 weeks. Don't hold me accountable for that. I'm hoping 3 weeks from now, which is something that, will help the people that are on the market right now to be able to build the database based on finding positions. So it's essentially I would say, an version of a CV where you can upload a 1-minute pitch video based on your skill set. And then you can attach your CV and social links as well, where clients, I guess, or companies can find you and recruitment agencies can find you based on that video rather than an actual CV. So that's a little bit about us. And the company is called Foccus Recruitment, Foccus Group.
I like the initiative and what you're driving out to help the broader community. So if you don't mind me just diving a bit more deeper in terms of what is active at the moment, do you find that employees are still actively wanting to hire people?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because, from an agency perspective, it was the day of F45. Formula One, sorry, not F45. F45 was a gym session, sorry. Formula One, as you know, it's not my thing. So Formula One was the day where everything had happened. So that day, obviously, I was advised that Formula One was going to close and it wasn't going to continue. Then the next day, we got a call from one of our biggest clients, Quandu. As you probably know, they're an application for restaurants. They're merged with OpenTable as well. And then the following day, we got calls from other clients saying, everything needs to go on hold. I'm talking overall about 31 roles in the space of 3 days. All roles were on hold because unknown what's going on in COVID-19. We don't know if we can actually hire people right now and bring them on board to train. So us as an agency, we're like, whoa, what is happening? This is actually serious, right? Then a week in from there, we had another 11 roles put on hold and cancelled. Then the second week, we had 6 roles that were offered to candidates. They had quit their job, made an offer to start the job that following week, cancelled completely, on hold, not sure if we can start the candidate. So we're left with like around 40 roles that are put on hold. We're left with 6 candidates that had made an offer to start the job, completely without a job right now in COVID-19. So these people unfortunately had to go back into their previous job. Some didn't. Some actually were left in the dark to go on job seeking allowance, which is what they're offering right now, or job keeper, as you would say. So that's really unfortunate, and that was kind of the dark side to what had happened. The good side is, though, from there, that really made me think on what ways candidates can kind of stand out in the market to get in front of the right companies. And as you know, I'm a big, big advocate of content creation, videos, putting yourself out there, building a personal brand. And in this time, the world has literally stopped. So this is the time where you really need to take advantage of online presence and start to build a personal brand on LinkedIn, and actually make the effort to create videos and serve within your industry or your skill set in video format to be able to provide, value to the audience on LinkedIn. And this is the way that you make noise, I would say, through a platform like LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or what have you, where you can get the companies, or I would say human resources or recruitment agencies, to reach out to you based on your skill set. And they may have a position happening, or the company may want to hire you on a contract or a part-time role, or maybe want to collaborate with you on something that's happening. So I guess you can't really rely on the old school way anymore, especially in this time. I was way against it before, pre-COVID, but now this is a wake-up call. Like, it's no Seek.com, Indeed.com, where putting people out there right now on the spot where you can apply for 30 jobs at one go. This is not the climate for that anymore. You really need to make an effort and actually create content that's valuable and serving the people in your industry and providing free things that you know about in your industry in a video. And that's all about building personal brands right now. But as you know, there's still jobs, there's still active roles going. Not as many as before, as we know, but this is the time to really make noise by building a personal brand. So I'm a huge, huge advocate of that.
Fantastic. We are definitely also in the same like-minded thought in terms of how the traditional methods of applying for a job, it's long gone. I mean, we don't just hit send a resume and cover letter and pray for the best. I mean, it doesn't share much. Correct.
If it's not, or as I would say pre-COVID, if it wasn't recorded or you didn't take a picture, it never happened.
Exactly right. Look, that brings me to my next question, if you don't mind me asking you, and it's great the insight you've given us. So with many people struggling financially at this kind of moment, what do you suggest? I mean, do you believe they should realign their career, like to go to an industry that's more hiring at this current moment? Correct. Like, let's just say, I'll give an example. Let's just say someone finished a degree in accounting or engineering, for example, and they found out a lot of jobs were being put on hold, or you aren't able to pursue a job. Should they realign, change their focus on an industry that might be hiring, such as health or IT? What are your thoughts on that?
It's really interesting because, again, I know people that were sales directors are now packing boxes in Woolworths and Coles, and that's huge. That's a huge industry shift, right? It's like I was a sales director for 20 BDMs for a huge software company or a huge hotel. Now the climate has given me the only option to pack boxes in Woolworths. It's like, how do you even have the mindset to be able to adapt to that, firstly? Look, I don't want to say too much that may bring, I guess, questioning around it. But in my opinion, I really think that, skills are definitely always learnt consistently. I don't think you should stop learning, as you know, being in your industry. It's definitely an ongoing thing. And I definitely think this is the time where the world has stopped, right? All the excuses that you have made to not do that side hustle, to not learn that skill, to not reach out to that company, to not write that PowerPoint to be able to pitch to that company on that role or on that job. All these things that you've put off, this is the time to really, hone and focus on what you actually want to do and put in all the effort to get there. And I really don't think you should change a skill. I don't think you should completely, become a nurse, and pre-COVID you were a sales manager. I definitely don't think that's a thing just because healthcare is rising. I definitely think, if you're a sales manager, for an example, in SaaS and you've lost your job, why don't you start giving advice on how to BD in this time in COVID, how to reach out to potential clients and create videos on LinkedIn platforms, and that's how you make noise to be able to attract the companies based on the skills that you're offering. Because as you know, in CV world, everybody talks the talk, but it's like, can you actually walk the walk? And this is a time that a lot of the people that were talking the talk will be pushed back, and a lot of the people that actually are walking the walk will be known, for that skill. So, as the question, I definitely don't think you should change, your whole industry. Just work 10 times harder on the skills that you already know, but, trial and error. Do a video, write an article, reach out to 10 companies a day through LinkedIn message, through email. There's a tool, a Chrome extension that you can download. It's called Lusha, Lusha, where you can actually grab people's emails and contact numbers, give them a call. This is the time where you need to start building relationships and collaborate. Like, how are you going? I'm on the market. This is what I can do. I'd love to work part-time and maybe help you on this. Like, it's not about sending your CV to the HR manager anymore. This is not the time for that. You need to actually hustle and make an effort, So, yeah, there's lots of ways, but I definitely don't think you should change a skill because the market is telling you to.
Fantastic. Whatever you mentioned there is spot on. And, I think a lot of our clients are going to receive great impact on what you just said. And hopefully they can take that feedback on board. Now, just in line to that, I guess you've done what you've done for a long time now. What do you reckon would be a great candidate? Like, what makes a great candidate?
That's a broad question, but I think definitely I always stand by my motto. I say to a lot of people, it's definitely 80% talent and 20% skills. You can have the best skills in the world and, scale my company or my division at 10x in the space of a quarter. But if you don't have the right attitude or you don't have the talent to stay hungry and stay motivated and merge in with the current culture, then it will never work. So I always say culture over cash flow, not cash flow over culture.
Fantastic.
Because culture will always drive the cash flow. So I definitely think, having the right attitude more than actually having the right skills, because skills can be taught. Attitude can't.
Spot on. Exactly right. And just lastly, if you don't mind, just going a bit more deeper, because our target is more graduates and young professionals. Now, if we could just take a typical example where someone doesn't have a lot of experience, how do you suggest in terms of how they start this process of actually being more proactive and selling themselves?
See, pre-COVID, I would say work for free, build your skills, work for somebody that you look up to or you admire. Reach out to them and say, hey, whatever I can offer to you right now in this time, I'd love to help. All I want to do is just help and serve to be able to build a skill set or experience or learn off you as a mentor and become a mentee. COVID now, it's really hard because the situation's a little bit different. I guess a lot of people have lost their jobs. It depends on your financial circumstances, right? If you obviously have things that you need to cover, I would say, to continue life as normal, I would definitely try and get a part-time job. But I'd also work on weekends for free, or 3 to 4 times a week for free, to, I guess, grasp an experience within an industry that you want to do. So again, just working for somebody that, is absolutely killing the industry right now to become your mentor, or a company just reaching out and saying, hey, I just want to offer my skills for free. What can I do? And this is how you gain experience, because it's always experience over a degree. As you know, I think a degree is good to have, but it's not going to, I guess, get I don't want to say that because you're in this industry. I think, look, degrees are good to have if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or whatnot, or a surgeon. It's definitely a thing that you can upskill based on, skills that you probably don't know, but I don't think it's a necessity for sure. I think experience is much more needed than an actual degree, especially in this time as well.
Fantastic. All right. Was there anything else that you might be able to add that I probably didn't ask you?
You sent across, which I do want to add. So to the people that have lost their positions right now in COVID-19, there's a lot of recruitment agencies, as us, and there's one in particular that I do want to mention. The link is www.jobsforaustralia.com. And essentially, they're a non-for-profit agency, and they're assisting candidates that have been, unserved in the COVID time, that have lost positions. They're actually, not mentoring, but they're actually going through the whole process to help push you to get into a position, or help you through this time for free. For free. So they're giving advice and doing all of that. So again, it's jobsaustralia.com. And they're doing amazing stuff. And it's basically, they're volunteering, they're talent acquisitions, they're recruitment agents, and they're offering free service, free advice to be able to help you find a job within this time. And that could be in your industry or not in your industry. So I definitely check them out. But there's a lot of people right now offering free advice and free services to be able to help the candidates that have been affected by COVID-19. So definitely reach out to agencies and Jobs Australia.
Fantastic.
Jobs for Australia.
Thank you so much for all your input there. Thank you. But did you have anything that you can say, especially to graduates that let's just say they've finished a degree and now they're wanting to get work or find work?
Honestly, like I said, you can't rely on Seek.com and Indeed anymore. You need to. Yeah. It's a climate. You need to. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, create a LinkedIn profile. That's the first step. Get a LinkedIn profile. Create a LinkedIn profile. Put all your skills in there. Put in your LinkedIn bio, I am currently looking for opportunities in whatever industry you're in accounting, in beauty, in marketing, in sales, whatever you want to do. Put that in bold on your bio so people can see that you're open to opportunities. Mm-hmm. On LinkedIn, there's a tool as well where you can actually tick, I am open to opportunities. So recruitment agencies and companies can headhunt you directly to know that you're open. And do the work, create content, bring value to the platform, and reach out to companies through LinkedIn, and offer your skills for free, or a part-time based role, or something along those lines. This is the climate for that.
Fantastic.
It's, all about that right now. It's not selling your skills or selling your CV to the company. It's how can I help? This is the pitch. How can I help? I've just finished a degree in this. How can I help your agency, your boutique, your company with the skills that I have? What can I do? I'm happy to do 1 day a week, 2 days a week.
Fantastic.
Whatever it may be, work for free for 2 weeks or 3 months until you can actually prove to them that you can do the job. This is the time we're in right now, unfortunately. So,
fantastic. That's awesome. Have you seen a big shift in your industry where jobs have dropped off a lot? I mean, you mentioned something in the beginning, But like, how are you coping?
Well, we've had to create other angles to be able to pivot as well. So, we've currently leveraged off our current client base where we're offering LinkedIn optimization to teams. So, as you know, BD isn't face-to-face anymore. Forget the coffee dates, forget the interactions like that. It's all about optimizing your online presence at scale. So at the moment, we have been offering to our larger clients and offering one-on-one service coaching to their teams via Zoom on how to utilize the tools on LinkedIn at scale to be able to create a personal brand, how to get in front of your ideal customers, and overall how to BD. How do you business development online? How do you BD online right now? How is that a thing, right? And I think LinkedIn is so underused by so many people, and it's seriously one of the best organic growth tools in B2B world. So as I said, if you're not on LinkedIn, definitely get on it and start using it, especially in this time.
That's great.
And, I just want to lastly say to people, just try and stay positive as well in this time, and don't always listen to the news and watch the media. Try and outsource other information and educate yourself online rather than just watching the news, because it's very draining and taking away energy and time to what you can actually be doing rather than media. Try and build a brand, do something that you want to do, because it's definitely a negative time for most. So just try and stay positive.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this, Belinda.
So here you go, guys. Thanks to Belinda for sharing such a great insight information on how to strategically and use some of the tactics to land further job opportunities during this pandemic and in the future. I totally agree with her in a way that you have to be more innovative and be more proactive on how you engage employers. If you found this video very useful and have some suggestions, please leave it on a comment below. And if you like more video content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.